I don't even know why they call it a tummy tuck. They should call it...
Tummy tuck's gone wrong. Okay, what do I mean by that? These are some things that can happen.
Okay, PSA, if you're planning to get a tummy tuck, please watch this video.
Why does nobody talk about this transition between the mons and tummy?
Let me de-influence you on getting a BBL, lipo, all of that. So it's been this is day 3, and I'm not saying this because I'm unhappy with my results. I think my body is tea. It looks amazing, but it is not worth it, you guys. Like, the amount of pain that you are going to go through and the amount of pain that you experience getting out of surgery, it's like in 1,000 out of 10. Like, and I've had lipo in the past, so I had also lipo here. I need to wear my chin thing, but it was giving me a migraine. So I had lipo for the first time around 7 years ago, and I wanted to do it again now because I had the extra fat, and this time I wanted to do a transfer. After I had my baby and stuff, I feel like I liked the size of my butt, but I kind of wanted to do like a little bit of a reshaping, a little bit of like filling in my hips and stuff like that. And yeah, no, it's just not worth it. It is just not worth it. The pain is just way too much. The uncomfortableness, the inconvenience of everything, the faja, the boards, the foams, the massages, the pain, the no sleep. Like, girl, at that point, just go to the gym. Like, just go to the gym. I don't think it's worth it at all. Like, I'm happy that, you know, I have my results and stuff, but I would not do this again. Not do this again. It's so crazy to me that how popular of a procedure this is, considering that it's like super dangerous, and what you experience after, it's like no joke. It is no joke. And I know it's like, who am I to talk, because I did it, but I feel like I did not remember it being like this. That was worse than childbirth. Like, seriously, the pain, worse than childbirth. When I woke up, I felt like I had been stabbed like 20 times all over my body. Everything burned. The anesthesia, I felt like nausea. It was just, I was like coherent and not coherent at the same time. It was just a nightmare. So I hope I de-influenced you.
I hate to see so many ladies crying after they come out of surgery. That's really some tough shit to watch. I can definitely say I understand exactly where they're coming from, because it can be a very, very painful situation. That's why I think it's so important to have your confidence together and to have your mind right before you go into a surgery.
I healed horribly. I would not advise anybody to do a breast augmentation and a BBL or a lipo at the same time. Do not do it. The doctors told me, are you sure you don't want to do it together, because you can save on the anesthesiologist? We can knock it both off at the same time. But did they care to tell me how I'm supposed to lay down? No. Did they go like through any process of, hey, like, you probably should wait on one or the other because you need to be able to lay on one, because if not, you're going to be suffering. It's going to be horrible. So since I was fresh off the table, I had my breast and my butt done at the same time. I don't know where to lay. So I'm laying sideways because that's the only possible way for me to lay down at night, right? And in the video that I shared where I have that green pants, you guys can't really tell because the pants are still kind of holding me, right? They're giving me shape. But I'm going to find a video that my mama took of me when I was in Cancun. And when I tell you my hips, like, it was like a big love handle up in the top. Winnie, Moon, stop fighting. Sorry, it's the cat and the dog. So they were up there, right? And it was the worst experience ever, not being able to lay on your back or your stomach. I was super bruised up. Honestly, that is so much trauma to have your body go through. I had bruises on my arms, on my stomach, on my back, on my legs. I wasn't even purple, I was blue at this point. The pain wasn't that bad for me in the sense of it being like I can't move. It just felt like if I was extremely sore.
It's day 7. and I am an emotional, crazy person. Does anybody else feel this way? Like, it's only been 7 days and I'm already over it. Like, if I could go back, I would go back and I have done this. Like, the pain, I'm over it. The not being able to get up on my own, I'm over it. Not being able to sleep, I'm over it. I don't even know why they call it a tummy tuck. They should call it a back tuck. Like, my back is what it hurts all the time. I'm just so emotional today. And it's only been 7 days. And I'm like, how am I going to go months of this? Does anybody else feel like this? Or is it just me being a baby and throwing a tantrum?
So this is a different kind of video today. We're gonna talk skin removal, my skin removal surgery, and the current status. My name is Victoria. I'm 21 months post-op gastric bypass surgery, and I'm about 4 months post-op skin removal. For people that have followed my journey, they know that I've had a lot of complications after my skin removal. I ended up having consultations with 3 different surgeons. The one that I ended up choosing, I chose because I was approved for what they call a paniculectomy, which is where they do an incision from here to here and remove all the skin below. And that's insurance covered, but they don't do it cosmetically. Like, it's not to look pretty, it's just to get rid of that extra skin for medical purposes. And I ended up choosing a surgeon that told me that if I was willing to take this incision as well, what they call a fleur-de-lis, I would end up getting an all-in-one, paying the extra, and being able to have it all done in one, and it would be called a fleur-de-lis tummy tuck plus the paniculectomy, and there would be a belly button relocation as well as a pubic lift. So for those that have followed my journey, you know that she took over 12 pounds off, and that sounds great and all, but unfortunately when I was in recovery, I immediately pointed out that I knew something was abnormal. Now, swelling is normal, but when you have what I was left with, I made sure to get it documented because it did not look normal at all. And the complications just went on and on from there. I ended up being told that I had a severe infection after going in several times asking for help. I had to call an ambulance and be taken in and go in for an emergency surgery the same day I was seen by this office and sent home because they didn't pick up on my infection. And I was told after the fact of having to have 2 gaping holes cut, it was up here and down here, that I would be left with a wound vac for Christmas, and I would be stuck with these 2 gaping holes, and that the infection was caused because a drain was pulled prematurely and that they were sorry. Well, I just want everybody to know there are so many more pieces to this. I will talk about it, but this is what I've been left with. So all skin was not removed. I was told this would be placed, this would be pulled in, and all this would be gone. And then this is what I'm left with on the bottom.
So I always hoped that I would never have to come on TikTok and do one of these, right? But here we go. This is a formal PSA. Harlem fucking hospital. Count your fucking days, bro. I just got off the phone with patient relations to make a formal fucking complaint. I have to email them back with full detail of name and dates and times in which I was at that fucked up hospital, specifically on the 12th fucking floor. You bitches, if you don't want to motherfucking work a job that you went to school for and got hired for, you should fucking quit. I'm a motherfucking hairstylist, and I do my job to the fucking max. Do you need some water? Y'all bitches are nurses, and this is how you fucking treat people. I already made the complaint. The fact that I woke up in pain and had to cry this morning, somebody's getting fucking
So a lot of people don't know me, obviously you're on TikTok, but I struggle with my health a lot. This year alone, I was scheduled to have a neck fusion in my C4, 5, and 6, and then a couple months after that, I was gonna have my lower back fused in my L5, S1. And then I was scheduled to have shoulder surgery after that. As if that wasn't enough, I found out that my boobs were ruptured. So I thought, why not get them fixed, and why not just get a little lipo and, just, I don't know, make myself feel better since I don't work out. Since having all these problems with my back. I did my homework. I went to Guadalajara, Mexico. I found a doctor out there that I really liked, and I'd watched a ton of videos of girls giving their posting their results and showing videos of what they look like. So I was pretty confident going into this. Booked a recovery house for 2 weeks after that, and 5 weeks, a little bit over 5 weeks post-op, my surgery has become a fucking nightmare. It started out with my incision looking like it was infected somehow. I don't know how it got infected or whatnot, because I was doing everything the right way. I was being extra cautious, and so now where my tummy tuck line is, and the fucked up thing is I didn't even really hate my stomach. Like, I somehow got convinced to do a tummy tuck even though I didn't really need it, and now I have a 3-inch hole at my incision line. But to make it even worse, I went into the ER regarding my stomach and found out that my breasts were infected. So I was admitted into the hospital, put on IV antibiotics for 5 days or so, with no improvement. And so, yeah, they ended up having to take my breast out. So I literally have nothing. I knew I had to get them done. I just didn't want to be left feeling like I'm completely botched now.
Wondering why nobody told you it could get this bad. What really hit me watching these stories wasn't even the physical pain. It was the disappointment, because most of these people didn't rush into surgery. They researched, they read reviews, they had consultations, they talked to friends who had good results. They did everything right. And still, things went sideways. That's the scary part. Not that surgery can go wrong. We all know that. It's realizing that sometimes bad outcomes don't happen because somebody was reckless. Sometimes they happen to people who checked every...
So the tummy tuck that ruined my life, I want to just make one last video on it to address the comments in the video that I posted. A lot of you are saying that I'm being mean, that I'm attacking people. And after I think it's been like a week since I posted it, I've been thinking about it and reflecting on it. And I came in so hot. Like, I was so aggressive. I realized after reading some of them, I was like, that was so unnecessary. And I wasn't doing a really good job of explaining where I was coming from. And that the tone of that video was very lighthearted. Inside, I was not lighthearted. I don't know how to express really how traumatic that experience is. I laughed my way through it because I have to deal with the things that have happened to me, the bad things that have happened to me, with humor. It's one of the only way that I've actually been able to get through anything in my life, which if you know anything about me, you'd be surprised that I'm still here and able to smile and laugh. I want to apologize because I really did come in hot. I attacked people for sharing their positive experience while also saying you have to hear both sides, which is hypocritical. From my point of view, when I have talked about this previously, I had people in the comments sharing their similar bad experience. This time it was the complete opposite. So number one, it shocked me. I was not prepared to see those comments. Again, I posted this publicly. That's on me. I should expect opposition, of course, but I didn't because I really wasn't thinking right. It was 2 years. I was in my feels. I'm not gonna lie to you, in the last 2 years, I have not been doing well. We're not thriving over here. And I have the best intentions, hey, let's talk about this. And then I start getting some real pushback, and I really did not fucking handle that. I'm sorry. I didn't handle it well. And a lot of you guys were right in calling me out for that. So I apologize. And I do wanna say, for every single person that had a positive experience with their tummy tuck, I'm glad. I would not wish this on anyone, ever. I don't care who it is. I wouldn't wish it on them because I know firsthand what this does to you. And I am very happy for people who didn't have to go through that. And you lost the weight or medically necessary, whatever the reason, and it came out good and you feel good about yourself. I am happy about that because every woman, every man, I don't know about man, every woman deserves to feel confident and good in her body. So I really am.
So I got a question not too long ago about what kind of problems I had during recovery or complications, and there was 2 really big ones. I feel they were big anyways, so I'm gonna share. So the first thing that happened to me within that first 8 days of my recovery was a problem with my drains. So one night I noticed they weren't working as well as they should be, and that was on the 7th day. I was like, oh, and then I see a dot on the drain, and I didn't see it before. And so I looked it up on Google, and I was like, if you could, and it said if you could see this dot, your drain's coming out. You shouldn't be able to see that. And I was like, shit. So I tried my hardest to make sure it stayed there, but sometimes these drains would drop, and that tugged on the drain. So I don't know. It was just so hard to keep, and it was my left one. Honestly, I think it was my body. My body's really sensitive, and it rejects almost anything and everything. I have a hard time with birth control. My body is very, very sensitive. So I knew those drains were not supposed to be there. So I felt like it was trying to kick it out as soon as possible. But so within the first 8 days, that drain started coming out, and it ended up just coming out. I was able to just pull it out. I pulled it out by myself because it was literally hanging there with no purpose. So I wanted the hole to close. I did speak with my doctor before I did it. And I mean, he wanted somebody to help me, but honestly, I'm just so impatient that I did it by myself. Don't recommend that. So that was one of the drains. Then it was all up to the other drain to drain as much fluid as it possibly could. And I want to say at almost, not even the 2-week mark yet, almost a 2-week mark, that one started to come out too. And I was really, really discouraged because I was like, when you first go into this and you go into your recovery, you think everything's going to be perfectly fine. You don't I don't know. I just wouldn't say I was prepared for this. I was like, this is not how it's supposed to go. I didn't think it was going to happen to me, but you never think it is until it does, So that is what happened to me. My drains came out sooner than they were supposed to. At least my second one stayed in a little bit longer. I was really, really careful with that one. And then when that one was ready to come out, oh my gosh. So the 14th day, I was like, can I get these out? I need them to come out because the right one was hanging by a thread. And literally this one was actually tugging on my skin. The stitch was still attached to the drain and my skin. So I honestly felt like it made the incision hole a little bit bigger because it was the weight of the drain was just hanging from that stitch, and it hurt so bad. So I could not wait to get that one out. And that one I actually had my massage therapist help me take it out because she was trained to do so, whatever. So that one was safe to take out. We took that out. We could drain a little bit from it, but not much. But yeah, that was the first thing that happened to me. And then I'll tell you the rest because I also had some stitches reject. So that was painful. And I'll tell you what we did for that.
I had an extended tummy tuck 6 months ago, and people are outraged for me because they are saying I should not be like this, that I should be flat and I should not have all this loose skin. And the more I think about it, the more upset I get because this is not how I envisioned myself. Yeah, and I don't think I can file for a grievance. Because I signed all the paperwork and I went to all the post-op appointments and I tried to seem optimistic, and it's extremely frustrating because most of us know that these surgeries are not cheap, and to find help after a surgery that rough is hard. For somebody to watch your kids, for you to take off of work, all the things. I don't know what to do. The doctor who did the surgery moved on to a different practice out of state. And I would feel like an ass because I went to these post-op appointments and was really optimistic, and to know that I need another surgery and will never be able to get it, specifically for not being able to put out that type of money again, it really upsets me. And I don't know. I don't know what to do. I guess I'm just gonna have to live with this. Am I happier than what I was whenever I had the apron belly? Yes, but to have this and not be flat is disheartening. Again, I had an extended tummy tuck, muscle repair, and lipo 360, and I really wish I would have went to a different doctor, even though this surgeon was super nice.